Hey everyone, so in this video we are going to be learning how to make chicken liver saute. So it's like the beef liver pate video, if you guys have watched that one yet. But instead of going all the way to the pate, this is just the saute that you can just eat on a plate like any kind of saute that you do with meat and vegetables and such. Alright? So we're just going to go over the ingredients first and then of what we're going to need, and then we'll jump into making the dish. So what we're going to need is you are going to need some kind of fat. So I love to use grass-fed butter. I recommend grass-fed butter, or you can do grass-fed tallow, or you can do very well-raised, so sustainably raised and processed lard, and then you can also do grass-fed ghee. Those are the ones that I recommend for you to be able to use to be able to make this. So good saturated fat. And then you're going to need vinegar of some sort. So I like to use a balsamic vinegar. It adds a nice sweet flavor. Most people like that generally when they first try this. You can use other vinegars. You could use apple cider vinegar. You could use red wine vinegar if you wanted to. So you just kind of got to find what works best for you. I recommend the apple cider vinegar for your first time trying this. Then we're going to need some sea salt. We're going to need 2 medium onions. If you can see, I've already cut mine up right here ahead of time. So what we want to do is we want to make not totally minced or like very small, but just chopped up really small. So we just have these little squares like that, if you can see that. And that's what we're going to want. That's what we want to be able to have. Then garlic. So it depends on how much garlic you like, okay? So I just have 1 big clove of garlic right here for me today, but if you want to put 2 or 3 in, that's totally up to you. It depends on how much you like and how much you want. Alright, then you're going to need chicken livers. So I have a ½ pound of chicken livers right here for me to be able to use. So that's kind of what the recipe is going to make up, is for ½ pound of chicken livers. You are going to need a good trusty knife that is sharp. Make sure that's sharpened. And then I've got 2 cutting boards here. This one's kind of over the side, you can't see it, but this one right here, make sure that you get a good cutting board with some wells on the side, just for when you're doing the chicken livers, so that you have a place to be able to catch the blood as we're cutting them up and prepping them to be able to put in here. All right, awesome. So that's all that you're gonna need. Oh yes, last thing you're gonna need is you are gonna need a wooden spoon or some kind of apparatus to turn this around, and you're also gonna need the top or lid to your pan. All right, so let's get started. So I have my pan on number 4 on my stove, so a medium or medium low if you like. All right, we don't want this too hot for us. So once again, is at a good temperature. And what I'm going to start out with is about a tablespoon of butter to be able to fry up these onions. Okay, so right there, just kind of break it. Now we don't want it too hot. Once again, one of the reasons why is because we don't want to burn the butter. Okay, that's not gonna, no bueno. Okay, don't burn butter, right? Right. So we're gonna stick in there. We're going to let that melt up. We'll go ahead and move it around. So you can brown butter, but you cannot burn butter, okay? That is a no-no. But brown butter is pretty darn tasty, I will say. So that's looking good. So now it's reduced really quickly. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and put in our onions. Alright, so we're going to saute up our onions first inside of our butter. Awesome, I'm going to keep that until off. We have them all coated inside the butter around. What we're now going to go ahead and do is that we're going to actually sprinkle some salt on it. So the reason for the salt is because we want the onions to get to be able to become translucent. Because that's when we're going to know that they're done and they're ready for us to be able to move on to the next phase. The salt helps to be able to make the onions sweat, to be able to give off their water that's inside of them. And that's what makes them translucent, is by doing so. And so we are adding the salt to be able to help speed up that process for ourselves, because we don't want to be doing this all day. So I'm going to just stir it, and I'm going to let that sit there for another minute or 2 while I talk to you about this over here. Alright, so this over here, what I got going on is I have my garlic clove, right? And so we're going to go ahead and chop up our garlic clove to put in here. And easy way that I've found to be able to do this is to be able to crush the garlic clove. So you're going to take the flat of your blade and you're just going to put it on top, and with your palm you're just going to shove it down and you're going to crush it. That's going to flatten it out, and it's going to make it easier for you to be able to cut it up and make it really, chop it really small, okay? So then, once again, using our grip, we're going to go down and we are going to cut up the garlic. There we go. Alright, so now we have the garlic. So when the onion is going to be ready and all translucent, we're then going to add in this garlic. Perfect. So we want it really small. You can see, just like that. Just in very small bits. Definitely not as big as the onion. It gives them a stir. It's coming around. It's coming around. It's looking good. Alright. So now I'm going to take this onion. I'm just going to move to the side real quick so I can show you what to do with these livers. So here are my chicken livers. Okay, beautiful, delicious things right here. So what you're going to do is you're going to go ahead and open them up, and then you're going to pull them out. So there we go. They're much smaller than beef livers. And a nice thing too for people, or this is your first time entering liver and eating it, chicken livers have don't have as strong of a taste as beef liver does. So this one's a nice one because then you don't get that strong irony taste as much, and so it's a good one to start on because a lot of people don't like that strong iron taste that comes with organ meats. Once again, most nutrient-dense food, so it's definitely worth it. Alright, I'm going to put these aside. I'm just going to rinse my fingers off real quick. Perfect. Alright, and so now what we want to do with our livers is that, like I was saying before, this has got some little connective tissues on there, some little gristles, and a couple of these are connected together. So what we just want to do is we just want to cut those in half, and we also just want to cut off that gristly part if we can, just because it's not going to be as delicious to eat. So yeah. So like right there, it's a little gristle, little fatty part right there. Now fat is good, but it's going to be a little bit like tough. And we also just want to cut these chicken livers down to size so they're more bite-sized for us. So like, see this one right here? So I'm going to go ahead and cut that one up. So I've got a half now. I've got another half right there. So those are pretty good. All right. I'll finish cutting my livers, so don't wash my hands again. Alright, and our onions are now all done. They're looking nice and translucent. Got a beautiful smell. So now we're going to add in our garlic. You can use your hand or you can use a knife. Whichever one that you would like. Alright, put that in there and I'm going to stir it around. Okay, nice. So it's going to just give it about 30 seconds to a minute for the garlic. We don't want to cook it too long. Just straight saute, on the heat. Okay. Perfect. Now that we have that, we're now going to go ahead and put in our chicken livers. I'm going to use a knife because I don't want to get my hands all dirty again. Plop those bad boys in there. Got some blood, don't want that on my Put that on a nice towel over here. Alright, so now we're going to go ahead and mix those in. They're going to start to saute. Once again, we're just going to mix them in. And we're going to start to cook them, and we just want them to start getting a little brown. Okay, so our balsamic's been able to reduce now. So what we're looking for it being reduced is it's just going to be just a very light little, almost like a paste kind of thing. So it looks like this still might be a little liquid, but that'll also be some water inside the pan. But you can definitely see the dark color is gone, and there isn't very much. So let me show you what we got here. So just like that, got a little bit of liver, and with the onions, nice little saute. So that's going to be it. So at that point, you can then turn the heat off. All right, I'm going to take it off so we don't overcook those livers. And then this is the point where you just season and taste. You go ahead and add some salt or pepper or whatever you like, mix it in, and then we enjoy. So there you go, guys. That is liver. That's a chicken liver saute. It's very easy, very simple. You can do it right at home. So you guys go home, make this, and enjoy.